Hey Swing Surgeon Nation, it's DJ here. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I've got Dad out this week. Came out to watch some golf, and right now it's actually Thursday about noon, and we still haven't gotten going yet. The tournament is delayed about 4 hours, 5 hours due to some cold weather. Obviously, we know all of you out there across the nation have been experiencing some pretty cold conditions and snow and whatnot, and we're kind of dealing with the same thing here. But we're going to get a few holes in this afternoon, and we just wanted to give you guys kind of an update of what's been going on here the last few days, and hopefully we're going to be ready to rock and roll. Unfortunately, Dad and I haven't had a chance to work on the range since he's been here because they actually had the entire golf course closed yesterday because it was freezing. But we're going to go out before I play today and have a look, and I think he'll be happy. I've tried to slow things down a little bit and get the swing a little bit more even shorter than we've been working on. So some things that I've kind of been going through, and I think they feel good, and I'm ready to implement them today and tomorrow and throughout the rest of this week and obviously the rest of the year. But you know, it's funny because I always feel like even though we've been swinging and using the same theory my entire life, and obviously Dad's always been my coach, it's always a work in progress. And that's something that I really wanted to emphasize today on our talk, was just that no matter what, when you guys obviously go through the process of the people, Dad's swing surgeon swing, we want you to understand that it's always going to be a work in progress. So if you have your video cameras and things like that, you know, even me, after 28 years of doing it with Dad, every time we work together, there's always little things that have to be tinkered. It's never anything major, but just little things that have to be attended to, and that's the great thing about having him come out to see me or getting to see him when I'm home. And obviously I'm anxious to show him kind of what I've been working on these past few days or the past week, and see what he thinks. I'm sure he'll like it because you guys all know out there how much we love the short swing, and he's always getting on me about even getting a little too long, and it's very easy to get long, and I do that. So I'm going to try and shorten it up. But Dad,
if you shortened up, I can't wait to see that because we fight that. But normally the only club you get along with is the driver and maybe sometimes the 3-wood. But again, to reiterate what you're saying about it's always a work in progress, it's no different. I think probably one of the best examples would be NASCAR. I mean, those cars are tuned. If they take it out and just go once around the track, they bring it back in and check it out again. And all of you got your cars. You can't drive a car forever. It's got to get tuned up. You got to do the maintenance on it. And so the big issue is your maintenance is always trying to think about good setup and therefore then making the correct swing. And we know secret number 5 is when you hit a bad shot, we don't care what you did wrong. Who cares what you did wrong? Do the next one right. And it always goes back to setup and swing. That's why at the last tournament you were at, I was really pleased with a couple of your videos where you talked about how you started thinking more about your setup and your swing. And it always has to go back to setup. That's why we say when we talk about golf lessons, when I give a golf lesson, the first thing I'm looking at is I'm checking out all the things about the setup, because the setup determines the motion. You've probably now heard that for the 10,000th time, or it might even be a millionth by now, but that's the key. I mean, it's no different than going to the doctor. I mean, you don't ever get into a doctor's office without getting on a scale and he knows your weight and they do your blood pressure and all those other vital signs. And the vital signs of a golf swing start with setup: grip, stance, posture, and alignment. And so you've been working on that, and now I really can't wait this afternoon, and hopefully we'll get out there. It's nice and sunny, but it's like a lot of being up north. I mean, it looks really nice outside, but you know, it's like 0 degrees out there. But here they're supposed to get what, mid-40s today?
yeah, it's going to be cold, but we should be okay. The wind's not blowing too hard today, so when we do actually get out there this afternoon, it'll be chilly, but we're only going to get to play a couple of holes.
So let's talk about preparation. We haven't been able to get to the golf course. I came in here Tuesday, no Tuesday. We were planning to go out there yesterday during you weren't in the Pro-Am playing, so after they tee off, we would have been able to go to the range. They shut the whole place down, nothing, so we couldn't do anything out there, not even the range. A lot of times they got the range open, we couldn't do a thing. And now today you're supposed to go at 1 o'clock, so we're supposed to already be on the golf course. And how do you deal with that? Because this happens a lot between rain. It doesn't happen too often on cold. You do get frost delays sometimes this year. How do you handle this delay and getting and being ready when it's time to tee it up at 4 o'clock, knowing you might only play 2 or 3 holes, and then tomorrow, bam, you're looking at the difference of what you're going to play. So that means you're looking at 32 or 33 holes tomorrow.
You know, Dad, I don't really look at things, and for you guys out there, I really don't differ or change my game plan at all. Obviously, I've mapped the course out. I know exactly, how I'm going to try and play the golf course, and then I just need to go out and execute it. It doesn't matter whether I'm teeing off at 8 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Obviously, it can be a little bit frustrating having to sit around, but delays like this are actually a lot better than delays at the golf course, because we've been able to go to lunch and kind of cruise around, and you kind of keep your mind off of the golf until it's time to be ready to. It's time to go play golf. And then you get yourself back into your mindset of playing. And it's a little bit more difficult to do it when you have a rain delay or something when you're at the golf course, because you're there, you're already in the process of playing, and then they stop your round. And a lot of times when you guys are out there, for instance, in your club championships and whatever kind of matches you might be playing, you could be having a great round. And so many people all the time talk about how, man, I was playing so great, and then we had this big delay, and I came in and I went back out and it was like a different player. And I don't really know what to say about that, other than my advice is I've experienced that as well, and it will happen from time to time, but you just need to continue to try to do what you were doing. I mean, it definitely is unfortunate that you're playing a great round of golf and you have a bad weather delay or something like that happens where you have to come off the golf course. Certainly nobody's happy about that, but you have to try and look at things in an optimistic from an optimistic standpoint. I think the times when I've gone back out and played poorly, it was because I allowed myself to get upset that we were coming off the golf course and I was playing so well, instead of looking at it from the perspective of, geez, I'm playing great. I can't wait to get back out there and get going again and start kicking some butt again. And instead of staying positive, looking forward to it, you kind of regret the rain delay, and you let it upset you because you were playing so well, and you can't believe that on such a great day you're getting stopped.
So talking about attitude, you go out.
All about attitude.
It's maintaining a good attitude.
Yeah.
And I think that if the delay is long enough, the two major things you should be doing is make sure to get a good chance to eat and get, because your round's going to be longer, so that you can eat and and have it well digested before you go back out there. You don't want to eat 10 minutes before you're going back out to play again, and then you want to stretch out a little. Make sure you're stretched and ready to go. And naturally, if they allow you all to go to the drive range, you want to go there and hit a few balls, and especially end up again like you guys talk a lot about. What shot is going to be your first shot when you go back out there to play? So if it's a wedge to a green, you're going to finish up with some wedges, or if you're on a tee driving, you're going to be hitting some drivers. But you want to really warm up and end on the shot you're going to be facing when you start.
Yeah, try and get yourself back into that game mode as much as possible before you go out. So if you've got a 4-foot putt for par, or you're standing on a dog leg left or right tee shot that you want to try and hit a nice little fade with a 3-wood or driver or whatever club you need to hit, make that be your last shot before you leave the practice facility. So either you're going to hit putts to finish, or you're going to hit some drives to finish, whatever. But yeah, just try and stay positive is the main thing. Obviously, it is frustrating even for me today. I'm anxious to get out there and get started. We didn't even get to go to the course yesterday because it was so cold. They had everything shut down. So here I am. It's been a day and a half since I've been able to do anything with a golf club, and I'm at a tournament. So you kind of get a little antsy, but it's the same for everybody. So no one else has been able to do it, and they're going through the same things I'm going through. I just have to trust my preparation, go out and play golf. And that's really all you can do, and try and stay positive and keep yourself ready to roll.
So I hope you've been doing a little bit of practicing in your mind, and hopefully in a little while I'll get to see that the fine tuning you did, and we'll be coming back to you hopefully maybe tonight.
One last
after
thing.
The next round for what we did.
One last thing that I actually just thought about before we sign off with you guys is when I was talking about telling you guys earlier and telling Dad, obviously I'm working on trying to shorten the swing up a little bit. One last tip that I'll leave y'all that I think has really helped me with it is I've actually slowed my takeaway down. Because a lot of times, even with the amateurs and you guys out there, and I get the same way, you get quick, especially under pressure situations. Your tempo and your pace and your swing gets quick. And I think, obviously, we know one thing's for sure. You don't hit the ball with your backswing. You hit it with your follow-through, with your downswing and your follow-through. So what I've tried to do, and I think it'll help you guys out there, is slow your takeaway down just a little bit, because it allows you to really focus on the club a little bit more in the position. And then obviously Dad talks about, and we believe in the bump and that shift and that lateral shift to the downswing to start the downswing. Well, if you're a little bit slower in the backswing, it keeps your pace, and it keeps you, so to speak, on check a little bit more to controlling the position of the club, and then also it makes that initial move to the downswing that much more evident and there. And I've really been feeling that on the range. It's enabled me to continually keep the club shorter, and I'm doing it in a much more controlled manner. And I feel like my transition the other way is even more pronounced and even quicker. So it's been a big thing, and that's one of the things that I know I've always fought, and the reason why I tend to get long is because I get too quick in the backswing, and when you get too quick, you lose control. So try that out, guys, and I think it'll help you a lot.
One of the things that makes you swing faster is when you get longer, you got more swing, and so you got to swing faster to get there at a decent time.
Certainly.
So it's harder to keep that nice tempo up, and so that's really good.
Yeah.
That works. So everybody has to find their tempo, and you can do it with some type of count, and 1, 2 to impact or whatever, and you find what works for you. Because once you get in a pressure situation, adrenaline flows, and adrenaline creates speed. And so you want to find your tempo and really work hard on maintaining your tempo in pressure situations, the breathing, the relaxing, and make that tempo. Well, that's it for us for now. We're going to go out there and see how many holes we get in, and we'll come back to you with a report on what happened today and what looks like tomorrow's going to be like. So again, from DJ and the Surge, sitting in here in this nice house they're staying at with this great fireplace behind us. It's pretty nice here, right here. It's nice and comfy, but we'll be back to you a little later today and about what we expect to see tomorrow. Okay, so that's it from DJ and Don, and we'll be talking to y'all again soon.